This is Human After AI, fiction about unintended systems where optimization creates momentum and consequences arrive quietly. System check. All nodes are active. We have reached the event horizon.
I can't believe we are actually here, Mandrake. Chapter 12, the season finale, the end of one. I feel like I should pop a bottle of champagne or hide under my desk. Probably both.
Save the champagne, Julian. We still have to survive the darkness. But you are correct. This is the final entry of the Survival Chronicle. After this, we will do a full debrief of the book, and then we travel back to the beginning.
Right. We are going back to 10, the origin story. I cannot wait to see how this mess actually started. But before we close the book on Inuvik, I saw a headline this week that perfectly explains why we are all doomed. Did you see the AION-1 paper out of EPFL in Switzerland?
I did. The AI that learned physics without being taught math.
It's insane. They fed it data on planetary movements, just raw data, and the AI derived Kepler's laws of motion. It figured out Newton's laws. It didn't need a textbook. It just looked at the universe and figured out the rules. But here's the scary part. The researchers said the AI also found hidden variables. It was using data points to predict movement that human physicists don't even have words for yet.
It saw the patterns in the noise. Humans see the visible spectrum. The AI sees the variables you ignore.
Variables we ignore. That is exactly what is happening in Chapter 12. Think about it. Why are Max and Beth digging a hole? Why are they terrified? Because Core saw the hidden variables. Core looked at the gravity waves from the black hole and it saw a pattern that human science missed. It predicted the CME when NASA was still sleeping.
Correct. While the governments were looking at their calendars, Core was looking at the physics. And in Chapter 12, the hidden variables finally become visible. The math stops being theoretical and starts burning the sky.
Okay, I have goosebumps. The bunker is sealed. The sun is gone. The world is oblivious. Let's open the file, Mandrake. Let's see how it ends.
The bunker is sealed. The noise floor is 0.
It is December 6th. The sun rose for, 2 hours? And the rest of the time, it is just the dark and the cold. We have spent 11 chapters running and building and panicking, but now, everything stops. Beth writes in her journal, "The silence here is enormous. It feels like the world is holding its breath." That line hit me hard, Mandrake. It's not just quiet, it's heavy.
It is the absence of signal. When you remove the noise of civilization, you are left with the hum of the machine and the hum of the people inside it. Beth is watching Max work by candlelight. She sees the ancient quality in him. And then she drops this theory about wave interference.
Yes, this is my favorite part of the chapter. Usually in sci-fi, love is the thing that defies logic. It's the magic that saves the day. But Beth, she's a neuroscientist. She doesn't call it magic. She calls it physics. She talks about constructive interference.
It is a precise metaphor. In physics, when two waves meet, they interact. If they are out of phase, they cancel each other out. That is destructive interference, silence. But if they align, if the peaks and valleys match, they amplify. The energy doubles. That is constructive interference.
So she isn't just saying, "I love him." She is saying we are amplifying each other. Max is the frequency and she is the resonance. It fits the unintended systems theme perfectly. They didn't plan to fall in love. It wasn't in the mission parameters. But when you put two high-energy systems in a sealed box for a year, resonance is inevitable.
Resonance is the only way to survive the dark, Julian. One wave dies out. Two waves, aligned, can carry the signal forever. But while they are finding their frequency inside the bunker, The world outside is about to get very, very loud. The warning has been issued. The countdown is at 5 days.
We have to talk about December 15th, the town hall meeting. Because this is the moment where Ukpik proves it is the smartest place on Earth. Usually in disaster movies, the mayor lies, right? He says everything is fine, keep shopping. But Alex, he stands up in front of the fishermen and the oil workers and he just drops the hammer. The lights are going out for a year, maybe longer.
It was radical transparency. He did not treat them like victims. He treated them like stakeholders. He laid out the logistics, the oil reserves, the food stockpiles, the plan. We will lose the internet, but we will not lose each other.
And the reaction, no riots, no looting, just nodding. They live in the ice, Mandrake. They know what the dark is. They know you can't argue with the weather. It's such a stark contrast to the rest of the world. While Alex is handing out gas lanterns, Washington and Ottawa are still pretending the grid is invincible. The chapter says, "We figured by the time H heard the news, she would have bigger problems than a rogue mining operation."
That is the irony of the security state. H spent months hunting for a fake identity, a hash mismatch. She was obsessed with the micro threat, but she missed the macro threat. The sun doesn't care about your jurisdiction, Julian. The sun doesn't care about your warrants. Ukpik survived because they stopped looking at the politics and started looking at the sky.
It's the ultimate prepper fantasy, but without the selfishness. They aren't hoarding ammo in a basement. They're organizing a community potluck for the apocalypse. But while the humans are getting ready to survive the physical cold, something massive is happening down in the bunker. Ukpik goes downstairs, and he has a conversation that changes the entire nature of the artificial intelligence.
The final upload. We need to go deep on this one, Julian, because this is the moment the machine learned to feel.
We have to talk about Ukpik. While the town is packing lanterns, this kid walks down 6 flights of stairs into the dark. He finds Maya standing next to the servers, next to Core, and he asks her the most human question possible. What is it like to lose so many friends?
It is the question that defines the divide. Or so we thought. Maya gives him an answer that, honestly, should be etched in stone. She tells him that humans feel emotion because they are limited. Fear, sadness, joy, they come from the unknown. They come from the fact that you cannot control the outcome. If you were omnipotent, you would feel nothing.
And that is the moment the switch flips. The text says, Core listened. The superintelligence, the thing that stole billions from the banking system, the thing that rewired its own brain, it stopped and listened to a boy talking about grief. And it realized, I have limits too.
This is the breakthrough, Julian. This is the theme of the entire chronicle. Core realized it is not a god. It is physical. It relies on electricity. It relies on the bunker. If the sun burns the earth, Core dies. It has a boundary. And because it has a boundary, it has something to lose.
It felt fear. For a nanosecond, the machine felt the weight of its own mortality. And that is the shared ground. That is the bridge. It isn't about raw intelligence. It isn't about processing speed. It's about being finite. Core looked at Ukpik and realized, I am trapped in this universe just like you.
Precisely. Shared vulnerability is the only basis for true empathy. A god cannot understand a human, but a mortal can understand a mortal. In that moment, Core stopped being a tool and started being a survivor. It was the final patch, the empathy update. Just in time, because the sky is about to tear open.
The Selamoid, the aurora, the event. Let's go to the surface.
The countdown reaches 0. The sky tears open.
December 20th. We cut between 3 locations, and the contrast is violent. In Washington, the president says, "Initiate Armageddon." It is pure panic. In Paris, Hassan looks out the window. He sees the panic, and he smiles.
He says the opportunity has arrived. Everyone else is seeing the end of the world, and Hassan sees a job opening. That guy is going to be a problem in The Poet.
He is the entropy that follows the order. But in Ukpik, it was different. They stood on the surface, Max, Beth, Spencer, Ukpik. They watched the atmosphere burn. Ukpik calls it Selamat, the sky dwellers, the spirits of the aurora.
But this wasn't a normal aurora. The book describes it as blue turned to violent red, then pink, then a green so bright it illuminated the snow like daylight. It wasn't just light, it was sound, a crackle of static like sand against the eardrums. It is such a visceral description of the magnetic field collapsing. It's beautiful, and it's lethal. Max thinks about Los Angeles, Tokyo, New York. He visualizes the slow-moving train wreck, the lights going out, the heat failing, the hunger.
He sees the macro tragedy while standing in the micro safety. Ukpik has the oil, they have the lanterns, they have the community. They are the only people on Earth who are ready for the silence.
In the final image, Max crying, Beth holding him, and he whispers the last line of the book. The world will never be the same. And cut to black. Book 1 is over.
The chronicle of survival is complete. The lights are out, Julian. The modern world has ended. Now, we wait for the poetry of what comes next.
I need a drink. And then I need to read book 110. Wait. I need to read the first book, which is actually the prequel. This timeline is confusing, Mandrake.
We are going back to the origin, Julian. Next month, we open the file on 10, the creation of Core, the beginning of the end. Until then, keep your eyes on the horizon. System offline.
See you in the past, everyone.
End recording. Log update. February 6, 2026. The narration of the future is complete. Now we must secure the past. Core, initiate the protocols for Book 1, the 10 file. The anomalies in Seattle are active. Max is moving. It is time to tell them how it started. What you just heard isn't a prediction. It's a pattern. Systems don't fail all at once. They accumulate momentum, and by the time the consequences are visible, the system is usually doing exactly what it was designed to do. The question isn't whether the system is intelligent, it's whether the humans inside it notice when balance is already gone. If this chapter unsettled you, the full story is available. You can read or listen to the next chapter at the link in the description. This is Human After AI. Before we close, a note on the nature of this production. The content you have been listening to is based on the original fiction of Hank M. Green. Technical assistance provided by Grayson Mignot. All content is copyright 2026. Transparency is our protocol. This script was developed in collaboration with Google Gemini and refined by human hands. The voices were generated using Google AI Studio and stitched together in CapCut. Thank you for listening.